Hey guys, welcome back to another adventure with me on Mianna here, as I promised in my last video. And we're going to be diving into Velks and discussing some recent changes to our strategy. I recorded a pop-in video that went so well earlier, and halfway through I showed my browser window on OBS and I forgot to put it away afterwards. So the second half of the video I'm like doing all this stuff and talking about what I'm doing, and you're just looking at the browser window. So I decided to just scrap it and start over. So we're getting ready to dive down into the bowels of Velks here. I'm just throwing up my runes, and um, it's probably not the best place to do a grind, but it is more interesting to see. And it might be actually decent, but I think probably the best place for getting XP is just Frenzy Camp. It's just such an easy grind, but this will be more exciting. And I think if I get it down, it could be a bit faster. The problem is the spiders down there have more magic resistance. I am doing spiders, I'll show you. So I have to use my kit. They're higher level. Some of them will summon me. So I've got these other concerns to worry about. There's some traps down there. It's dense. There's not as many safe places to set up. And it's just overall scarier. But I'm going to take you down. I'm going to explain some of the recent changes I made to my strategy to compensate for a horrible session I had in Vexar. I'm not sure if I talked about it before, but I needed to change how I'm dealing with charm breaks. So if you look at my spell bar here, you'll see now I've got 2 spells up. I got a 3 and a 4. 3 is Color Flux. That's the first stun I ever got. It's the shortest duration stun, but it's also the shortest cast. It's only a 1.5 second cast time. And the second one is my highest level stun. It's Color Slant. Just like Color Flux, it's also only a 1.5 second cast time, but it's an 8 second stun. It's a nice fat stun. It's very expensive comparatively, but now that we've got KAI, I don't think we need to worry about the cost of the stun. Previously, I think I was using the one called Color Shift, which was a 2.25 second cast time, and for the longest time that was fine, especially a Frenzy. 'Cause they would hit me and not interrupt me, but in Vexar, I was getting interrupted a lot, and I realized I needed to take another look. Looks like somebody else is already... Oh, it's Creature. So Creature will be down there doing the same grind. That's cool to see him. So, so we switched to Color Slant, and I got an extra stun, because these higher level mobs occasionally will resist the stun. And if you get a stun resist, you're not going to get a second chance to cast that same stun, because the cooldown's too long. So I used the big stun first, and I got my little stun as a backup. If the big stun fails, the little stun is of course a short duration stun, but it should be long enough for me to pull off a mesmerization. The big stun, the cool thing about that is if I don't need to retash, I can stun them and then recharm. I don't even have to hit my global cooldown and then cast my charm. I can literally just stun and then cast charm, all cozy like, and they'll be recharmed before the stun wears off. So that's the cool thing about that. So here you can check out where we're at right now. It's kind of an interesting place. We just went through Upper Dogs, and we are heading into the castle entrance. I don't know, there's probably some people watching this video who have never seen this place before. So you got lots of gargoyles and crystalline sentinels and stuff. Through that door is the castle to where Velkator himself resides. He's got a cool, like, looks like a dwarf warrior fighting a dragon or something on the door. But if you open that door and go through, it's a dispel trap, which will dispel my spells, my buffs. So there's also dispel traps down here to worry about. So here we go through that pipe, and now we're down in the basement here. Love being enchanter, not KOS. I go over to the left because if I run down the middle, there's another dispel trap. So really got to avoid those. Of course, losing KEI and Shield of Magi is huge hits to my mana, because recasting KEI and whatnot is expensive, as you wouldn't believe. Looks like Kelkar Ice Pot. Looks like our buddy is taking out the name. So let's go check to see how that's going real quick before we come back to our intended camp here. I'm just trying to stay on the outskirts because I don't want to hit a dispel trap. Hey man, how'd it go? I saw Calcar talking to your pet. I wonder if he's AFK right now. Where is his pet? I think maybe he died? Well, let's find where they spawn. Where does Calcar spawn? He spawns down here. Let's see if there was success. Looks like Calcar's gone, so he did it. He got him. So this is one camp here, Calcar Ice Paw, and this is one of the things that I was showing when I went back to my browser. So I'm going to do it again, but this time I'm going to try to remember. Where is it here? Calcar Ice Paw drops the loot of the Howler. Let me quickly pull that up on pqdi.cc and show it. I'm going to narrate it to help me remember to close this window again. I'm going to show it. There it is, the loot of the Howler. It gives an illusion werewolf, so it's great for bards because as you can see in the werewolf illusion, I am not KOS in the zone, which is really cool. And it's got 120% on the bard skill for strings. So this is like the best in slot item, and it sells for like 4 to 5k. So that's why we see creature farming it over here, right? So we got that, and then there's another named camp, which is more the area where I'll be playing around. Sorry, I'm not sick. It's just like my throat feels like it's got some mucus clogging it up. You're probably familiar with that feeling. I'm like to play around over by the Broodmother, personally. I'm trying to get a clear view. I think she is, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, she spawns right where you see this Velium Stalker. That's her placeholder right there. So I'm going around taking out these various mobs around here, but I'm not trying to do the placeholders like Creature is. I'm just trying to develop my skills as an enchanter, and last time I was doing it right here. And you'll see we've got 3 different classes of potential mobs to pet and to interact with. We got the Velium Broodling here. This time I am going to look it up on PQDI, but I'm not going to show it. That'll help make sure I don't accidentally leave the browser up, and you don't need to see it. I'll just read to you the stats. A Velium Broodling is a level 48 rogue spider with 12k HP and 60 magic resist. So he's the lowest level. We tried him last time. It didn't go too well. In the last video, it was the first bet I went with, and the problem with that was he was just taking forever to kill the mobs, getting his butt kicked a little bit. Not really, but it just took so long. And if the mob wasn't slowed, which happened once, he got chewed up real quick. Super long kills. On the other hand, Velium Hunter is the highest level potential pet we got going on. He's a level 52 rogue spider. The problem with him is he summons, and he's got 95 magic resistance. So he gets an extra 35 magic resistance. He's 4 levels higher. He's summoning. So he's a little bit, too extreme for the purposes of petting, right? And that leaves what I think is the sweet spot, but we don't seem to see one right now. I'm going to look and see if I can't find one here, is the Velium Stalker. Velium Stalker. So the Stalker, let me pull up his stats here. Velium Stalker. The Velium Stalker is level 50, but he does not summon. Let me double check that he does not summon. Yeah, he doesn't summon. He's level 50 rogue. Wait, why am I seeing Velktor's Labyrinth? Oh, because I hit the wrong Velium Stalker. Okay, here. Yeah, he does not summon. And he's got 75 MR. So he's got 15 more than the Broodling, but he's also got 2 levels higher. Makes all the difference. The Broodling's hitting for a max of 145, and of course, being that much lower than the mobs, he's hitting less, and he's hitting at max less. Whereas the Stalker hits for a max of 176, and he's landing more of those hits, right? And then, of course, the hunter hits for a max of 205. So I think creature over there is using the hunter. That's what he's using to take out the named mobs here. But we're just doing a little XP grind. So we're going to use the stalker. It's the middle of the road. Kind of perfect. But let's see if we can find one in a bit more of a comfortable, charming location here. This is where I like to fight, right here, because I got this chamber here. And if I could have petted one of these, that would be clear. Looks like, let me make sure I'm not walking through any trap areas. I mean, there's creature right there. He's AFK. What he does is he kills the named and then he goes AFK. I don't know how he deals with the healers. I'd have to talk to him. He's an expert, though. He thinks of the strategy very clearly, hammers out every detail, and he follows the plan. Nice. He just sent me a tell, speak of the devil. Yeah, he said it went well. He got a loot. How do you handle the healers? I'm going to ask him. So this might be a good room to start. I mean, those three mobs are pretty close together, but if we pass E... Here's a stalker with 2 broodlings, so that'd be a good place to start. There's a Velium Hunter. That's his pet. That's why it's still in. Excuse me one second, you guys. Just mez them or clear them? Okay, so he's mezzing them. Then Membler? After mez. Alright. Okay. Oh, there's a Necro who wants to kill me. Oh my gosh, PvP is going to come into play right now? This is ridiculous. Okay, well... Hopefully the Necro doesn't come down here. I mean, how's a Necro going to manage to do to get down here and survive? You know? Okay, buddy, well... Glad he couldn't find me. So, anyway, enough talk. He's mezzing. The healers, and that's how he takes out that named. I'm not ready to start that kind of stuff yet, you guys. So we're just looking for a little XP grind. Let me pull up my charm set. So what I'm thinking is here, this is a good place to start. We'll pacify these broodlings, and we'll take this here stalker. We have a kit that will take an extra 20 magic resistance off of them. Look at all this safe space we got over here. There's 2 crystal shards there, though, so I don't know what we're going to kill after we kill these broodlings. I guess we come down here. Again, a lot of passing going on. Okay, we're not going to kill that hunter because that hunter is our buddy's pet. Okay. Alright, let's pull up Passy. Let's see how we do here. So we're just gonna see. I'm gonna show you how my new stun is more successful, relatively speaking. Trying to make sure I'm not in line of sight of anybody. I should start with this stalker. Pacify. Well, I don't need to pacify the stalker actually. So. There we go. There's that guy. There's that guy. So now we can pacify our stalker. The kit I farmed myself. I got shoulders from Black Barrow, minus 10 MR, and I got an adamantite ring from Lower Guck, the hand, another minus 10. I did, I have a 21 mage that I took to Blackborough. And he camped and got me like 4 sets of shoulders. Uh-oh. He is no longer charmed. Nice instant charm break. Well, hopefully we got it out of the way. I gotta hit give on these minus MR things so he passes the checks. I was trying to give him everything first. Start with a dagger, just in case he needs to have a piercing weapon. Alright, there we go. We should be set there. Now I'm gonna pull up my rune set again. We're gonna get ourselves a fresh Bedlam. He didn't break Bedlam. Now I'm pretty sure the passy is gonna have lasted long enough, but just in case, we're gonna throw in fresh passy on the one that we're not killing right away. Refresh that down to 76 mana, but it comes back quick with KEI. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with a fetter on the intended target, which lands. A Tash. And a nice shiftless deeds, my second biggest slow. And let's just get the pet going right now, because the slow is for sure gonna land. There we go. We're hanging out here, because in the event that charm breaks, we got room to do our AoE stun without angering any other mob. I'll try to remember not to run around too much. And we're gonna drop Pacify, and we're gonna pull up our little shallow breath, because we need to do 1 point of damage to get full XP for the kill, as I'm sure almost everybody here already knows. Another thing I forgot was to haste the pet, which might be a death sentence, but we're just giving it augmentation. It's like a 20% haste. It's not it's not that big of a deal. So there, he's hasted now. This guy is getting a little bit low. We're gonna shallow breath him, which breaks our root, so we gotta reroute him. Just so in the event of a charm break, we don't get ambushed. Okay, and now we're gonna bust out our slow spell again. And we're gonna get working on the broodling here. We're gonna set him up so we can just have the pet go right into him as soon as he's finished with that one. And that's how it works, you guys. Of course, the more interesting part's gonna be when we get a charm break. Now this slow is pretty heavy. But yeah, this pet is just creaming them. And so, like, if I really want to crank up the speed, I gotta go, like, right now, start pacifying the next camp. But I'm trying to take it easy, because I'm not so confident. But here, now we can pull up a passy. And we can get to work on these guys. Oh, that broodling did not hit me, which is kind of surprising, all things considered. I really hope Charm doesn't break, because this guy's a rogue, so he will backstab me and ruin my day. I think I'm going to pull this guy up here, just to be safe. And I'll stun and root him. I'll take the hit and refresh Bedlam once we're settled. Now you can see my mana is getting kind of low. Oh, there's a charm break. So I can actually just go straight to a recharm. I should have retashed, but I just want to show this. Boom. See? Perfect timing. And then let's hit this guy with a slow, and then we're going to have to switch to a lower slow, because we're low on mana now. We're at 40. And we still need to re-rune. Bedlam is down. Rune 5 is still up. We need to get our damage over time. Oh, this spell set only has normal root. That's not good. But it'll do. Oh, here he comes. He's going to work on my Rune 5. Oh, we're getting too close to those other guys here. Give ourselves a fresh Bedlam. I should refresh Rune 5, but I'm going to play it risque. There we go. So you can see the Stalker holds pretty well, and he does good work. Now, gosh, I want to keep him in front of me while I reload Passy here. And I'm not sure how much longer we have on the spawns in the spot where we're sitting. So actually, let's switch over. Let's switch over. Let's find a new spot here. There's that broodling. We don't want to go too far. I mean, I guess this room is the way to go. We got to go down into this room is what I think. Okay. And again, we're going to do a pull all the way over here, actually. Root took. I forgot to switch to a smaller slow, but this is another stalker. So we're going to keep it bigger on this guy. And there, he's slowed. And we're going to sit, and hopefully things go well, because we're getting low on mana now. Switch out to Tepid Deeds right now before I forget. So the pet's killing it. Hit him with Shallow Breath. Hope we don't get aggro. We didn't. Hit him with another root. And let's fight this one here. And let's re-passy the one in the hall right there. That will certainly aggro. Okay. Oh, I just got summoned. Okay. I think we're okay for now. I'm going to need to re-rune, though. He got through. He got through both the runes. We're hitting the funky stick. Rune 5 on ourselves. And then a Bedlam. As you can see, we're going to be, like, out of mana. Practically. We need to hit him with some damage, though, and reroute. We gotta at least do that before he dies to get the full XP. See, the hunters are the hardest things to deal with here. You just summoned the pet, so this is a good time to potentially break root. Okay, let's pull up charm. Now our pet's really low, so what I think we're going to do after this is we're going to go back up there and we're going to take a chill pill for a second. Let's see what our AA experience gain is on this kill. I think I did damage him, right? Okay. We don't need to keep the fungi staff on us anymore. Okay. And now my plan is to chill here. I think it won't be long before we get a respawn. And mid up. We are low on food. Wonderful. Alright, creature logged, but he got a loot of the Howler, so that's a successful session for him, I'd say. I kind of wish I could finish this guy off, but I think he would not survive a fight with that hunter. And I feel like I'm due for a, ooh, I gotta make sure I'm looting these gems, dude. I gotta make sure I loot these mobs and not just leave these corpses around. There's just too much good stuff dropping here. I mean, I could try to finish him, but I think it would take me 3 nukes. I don't think I have that in me right now. It's right in that, you know, difficult to deal with spot. I think the smart thing to do would be to reset him and let him heal up and med up. So maybe that's what I'll do, actually. Oh, yep, okay. So he broke. We root. Let's bring up our Membler spell set here. And let's get out of the respawn area. He's in the perfect spot for this process right now. Hit him with a passy. And wait for my recurring amnesia to pop. That's like a Membler dot, and it's really cheap compared to the other spells around the same level, and it's pretty effective. She assist, and he's no longer concerned with us, I think. I'm typing /assist, and he's not going for me. Yep, there we go. So now we're good. We can med up, which is what we'll do. The thing is, I don't want to let him regen too much because I do want to kill him. I think on our next sesh of rounds, we're not going to slow. We're not going to slow the enemy very much. That's the plan. Alright, I'm going to pause while we wait. Alright, sorry about that. I reinstalled OBS, my recording software, and the hotkeys that I use to pause and unpause recordings, they don't work unless I tab over to OBS now. Before, I could be anywhere, and I just hit the hotkey and it will still pause and unpause the recording. So I'm going to have to look into that. If you're watching Classic or anybody and you're aware of that issue and have figured out how to fix it, go ahead and comment and let me know. But I don't know, maybe I'll have it fixed by then. Maybe I'll look into it right after this. AI should make it pretty easy to find a solution, if there is one. Because before, I wasn't having this problem. I could be in EQ and I could hit the pause or unpause button and it would work. But now I've got to tab over to OBS to do it. So we got our mana back. We're going to rebuff. We're going to make sure we do our illusion again, because if that were to drop, we'd be in a world of trouble. Alright, and now we've got a hunter and a broodling here. And nothing else anywhere nearby to worry about, which is nice. There's probably a better spot with easier to handle spawns. But I haven't done that much shopping yet, and I don't really plan to. After I show you guys this, I think when I do want to XP grind, I'm just going to do it the easy way and do Frenzy, because those are still dark blue. I feel like it ends up being faster XP. I can just keep going without stopping. Here I'm running out of mana. I think it's because I'm using this big slow, so we're going to switch to Tepid Deeds. Spell set, save, charm. Gotta update that, and then let's get out our pacify. We'll do it again. Now we're really hoping to get our stalker down to like 10 or less percent HP by the time the fight's over. That's really the goal. So that we can nuke and finish him off and get our kit back. It's kind of cool saying that kit. I've got a kit now. Dismiss. Tash. Charm. Let's see, does he still have haste? He's still got my haste. Okay. I think we'll start. It's probably safer to start with the broodling, because he'll die quick. So let's start with the broodling. Let's get started right now. Alright, let's drop pacify and pull up our little dot here so we can do our couple of points of damage to him. Get full XP. That was the benefit of using Avelian Broodling as a pet, though, is that the fights were slower. So my mana felt I had more time to met, but it's not really a benefit, it's an illusion, because the longer a fight takes, the higher the chance you have of getting a charm break in the middle of the fight. I mean, if you're chain killing, you're going to get a charm break in the middle of the fight anyway, right? Also, the longer the fight takes, the slower the XP is, right? Alright, he's more than halfway done, so this is about when I like to hit them with my DPS and reroute them. I could probably switch back to normal route, actually. Save mana there. I've got a crystalline torque around my neck, which you can get at Castle Entrance. It just does 12 AC, that's it. But it's got the spell focus effect of reducing the mana cost of all my spells by 10%, which is pretty nice. So now that this guy's almost done, we're going to prep the next victim. He's a hunter though, so this is going to be more dangerous. He can summon, he's got higher magic resistance. But so far so good. What's going to happen though is I think once he gets below 10% he will summon me. So I think I'm just not going to sit for now. When he gets significantly lower, I'll risk sitting down if he hasn't summoned me already. Yep, see there's the summon. Oh, and he got me good. He got me with a backstab. So we need to refresh our rune. Bedlam to start, I think, is the way to go. We're still not sitting down. I should have just done the full rune kit, but we already memmed Bedlam here. I should have backed away without like... Alright, he's getting a bit low. He resisted that shallow breath. See, that's why I wanted to try the shallow breath now. Because there is the possibility of a resist. Now we need to make sure we root him. There we go. And then we rune ourselves. And you can see he did quite a bit more damage to the pet. I still don't want to sit down, even though it's probably alright now. I'm sitting. There we go. Alright. And look at these gems, dude. Pristine emerald. Man, this is money. This is a money camp, actually. This is nice. Maybe I should do this. I think Creature's still busy around here, so I'm not going to kill his pet, even though that would be the perfect next target, honestly. I'm worried about those two guys in there assisting. So we're going to have to sit and think about this for a second. I'm also worried about a charm break. What can you do? You can't just stop and wait every time you think there's a charm break on the horizon. So we're going to start with that guy in the corridor. Alright, and I think we're going to do another tash pull here. Sick the pet. Stun. Root. And slow. And then we need a fresh bedlam. And we're also going to need damage over time. Okay. Dang, the pet's ripping him down, which is nice. Let's give ourselves the bedlam before we probably should have done the damage over time because he's low. We're good. We still have 40%. It landed, broke root, but pet's got his attention. Rerooted. So even though we're using our much lower cost efficient slow, we're still losing mana right quick. And look, it says 51% or 25% an hour on the AA, so I really think that, what's it called? Let's get the other stalker in there right now. I'm pretty sure it's still a single. Stunned him. Rooted him. I'm tempted to not slow him. And then so I can kill the pet off. That might be the way to go right now, actually. I think even without the slow, the pet's still not going to be low enough. This is ridiculous, but it's cool. I save a little bit of mana, which is nice. Okay, we got a shallow breath him. Landed. Another root. And I like using the big root, like, just in case it does break. Alright, and now this Arvelium Stalker's at about 14%. I think if we use a big slow... Oh, we got a charm break. Oh, I wasn't ready for that, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna recharm him. I could have, if I was ready for that, I could have just ended this here. Okay, we're gonna need a fresh rune here. Okay, so he's at 13%. Like, do I try another spider? You know what I mean? Or do I just end this now? Melody of Herbage. So level 50 bard spell, I'll take it. And a imperfect diamond. Like, the loot down here is baller, man. Okay. I think we can 2-nuke him. So I think we're going to go for the finish here. Let's pull out that. We don't need Tash. We're going to get a direct damage. Discordant Mind. We got 2 different nukes up, just to make sure we're capable of doing this. And of course we're going to need an Invis here. Here we go. Oh, we didn't even need... He broke literally while I was preparing to, He hit us pretty hard, so we're gonna have to bedlam up. And I even want to, oh shoot, man. Like, how did he crush us that bad? I even want to slow him. Just do a little tepid deeds, because we're a bit low on mana right now. He's at 15%, so let's see what we can do with the nuke here. Dementia takes him down to 10%. We got 3 nukes ahead of us, boys. This is gonna be rough. This is gonna be very rough. Luckily he's slowed, but I mean, look, is Dementia really my best right now? Yeah, it is. Come on. Do not break root, thank God. I think we can pull up a smaller nuke for the last one. Let's just do Anarchy, that should do it. Oh, root didn't break, so we're good. There we go. So yeah, should have waited till he was even lower to do that. And that's how it is, you guys. That's how it is. I'm gonna go say hi to Creature. We're totally safe now that we don't have a pet. That's the cool thing about this zone. As long as you don't run into a dispel trap and lose your illusion. You wanna watch that show tonight? Alright. Sorry guys, I kind of forgot I was recording there. So, looks like we might try for KAI again. Creature and I. Just because he saw it selling for a good price. But that's the Velks grind. This is where I'm kind of honing my skills a little bit and doing much better now, I think. Catch you later on the next video.